Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to take another deep dive into the year 2025, but from a purple star astrology perspective. So Ziwei Doushu this time. And it's not just focusing on the financial outlook, which is something that I've looked at in a previous video. We're just looking at your overall sort of luck in 2025 and what you have to do to maximize the energies that you are being dealt in 2025. So, of course, some of us will have better luck than others. However, even if based on your chart you have the best of luck, if you don't really make use of the opportunities that are coming, then it could still be a bit of a shitty year. Conversely, if just based on the chart, your luck is just average or maybe not that good, but you maximize the opportunities and you consciously avoid those sort of actions that you shouldn't be taking, then it can be a great year. Yeah, so do not despair. It all depends on what you actually do based on what you have in the chart. So first things first, you need to plot your Ziwei Doushu natal chart. So you can go to the link here that's on the screen. I'll also post it in the description to the video. And what's very important is that you do enter your time of birth. Without the time of birth, you are not able to plot a Ziwei Doushu chart. Now, Ziwei Doushu is based on the lunar calendar. However, just enter your regular date and time of birth, the plotter will automatically convert it into lunar time. Yeah, so don't worry about lunar or solar, just enter your regular date and time of birth, and then obviously enter the gender and select the chart method, which is the flying stars method. Now, once you've done that, you will get a chart that looks like this, more or less like this. So there are altogether 12 palaces, 12 boxes. We call them palaces. And we all have the same type of palaces, but they may be arranged in a different place. So not everybody has the spouse or the siblings palace in the same location, but we all have them in our chart. Now, because it is the wood snake year, we do focus on the snake palace. And the snake palace is the palace that is in the upper left. Yeah, in this particular case, it is the children palace, but in your case, it could be the wealth palace, the life palace. It could be any aspect of life, but it is the snake palace. And how do we know? Because we see a little snake here. So for everyone, the snake palace is in the upper left. So just look at this particular palace, nothing else. The aspects that are represented there, or the stars that you find in the snake palace, they will tell us what we can look forward to in the year 2025. So this is the focus point. Now, we are looking at the content of this particular palace. So, as you can see here, we have stars in this palace. So in this case, there's a Ziwei star and a Tisha star. Again, in your case, it may be different stars. And depending on what stars that you have there in the palace, the outlook will be different. All right, so take note of the stars that you have there, and then we can get started. So if you have the Tianji star in the snake palace, then the year 2025 may be a little bit challenging, yeah? It's sort of like all aspects of life, no matter what kind of plans you've made, it may just progress really, really slowly. And the plans that you've made may not be very realistic. So it's better not to plan big projects. I'm not telling you to lay low and don't do anything, but maybe it's not the best year to plan a major project. Or if you do so, make sure that you break it down into smaller, sort of achievable steps. The main goal for you in 2025 should be to just minimize losses, because then you can gain more. So minimize your expenses, for example, because that means that at the end of the year, you will still end up with more money, even if you have not made more money, but just by virtue of having less expenses. So play it safe this year and don't take too many risks. It's really important this year that you guard your wallet, because there's a higher risk for you to to lose money, either due to unexpected events or poor investments, and maybe you have a conflict with business partners. You just want to make sure that you play it safe. Don't take any unnecessary risks. Now, if you are single, there may also be a risk of having a bit of heartbreak. Maybe you've met someone and you thought this was going to be something, but then it's not. And so, it may not be the best year for relationships. And it's mostly due to misunderstandings. So again, maximize the year by just don't avoiding too many big steps and making sure that you plan everything out, have a plan A, have a plan B, and then you'll be okay. But most importantly, make sure that you take care of your finances and you budget. Now, if you have the Tian star in your snake palace, Tian, it makes it a year of empowerment in 2025. It's a really, really good year to learn a new skill and sort of like upgrade yourself. Career is generally good, I would say, even though there may be a few obstacles, but it's really important that you learn a new subject matter or that you master something new. It's in 2025. Your achievements will not be measured in money. They're more measured in sort of like added value. You having added value to yourself. The wealth prospect for 2025 is still not great. However, if you use this year to upgrade or make a name for yourself, upgrade your own value, then by 2026, you can actually use all your skills and recuperate financially. Career is generally good. Yeah, it's quite busy. You will be quite busy at work, but don't be disappointed if you may not get the bonus that you've expected, or it may not be as big as you hoped for. This will come later. So it's more sort of a year where you just have to work a little bit more on self-improvement. So this is it's important that you don't get disappointed and that you don't have expectations set too high, because they may not be met in 2025. As far as health is concerned, if you have the Tian in the Snake Palace this year, make sure that you guard yourself against injuries. You're a little bit more prone to injuries, especially in traffic. And also if you're doing any sports, or any high-risk sports. So be a little bit more careful, play it safe, essentially. Now, next up, we have the Tyin star. So if you have the Tyin star in the Snake Palace, then if you want to improve your financial outlook in 2025, you need to go out and travel. You need to go out of station for work. And that could also mean that if you have let's say if you have to take a business meeting, take the business meeting outside your office, not just over Zoom, or don't let the client come to you. You go out and meet them somewhere else. You have to really move around this year to make things happen. And it may not always be that easy, because there may be family restraints or health restraints that don't allow you to travel far, but you can always just go across the street to a coffee shop. That's also considered travel. Yeah. So there may be some challenges, but you need to face them and you need to make them work for yourself. Wealth is generally okay as long as you just move around. Yeah. Now, for yourself, it's important also in 2025 that you step out of your comfort zone. See new things, experience new things. Make sure that you don't do the same old, and then that you don't get stuck in a routine, because otherwise at the end of the year, you'll feel a bit frustrated with yourself for not having used the energy that you actually have. All right, now next one, we have Tianxiang. So if you have Tianxiang in your snake palace in 2025, this is actually quite okay. The really good aspects are health and relationships. So those are going quite well in 2025, I would say. No major health issues and relationships are going well. So if you're single, this year you will have a chance to find a partner. But just don't be too pushy. Just, play it slow. And also don't be too impulsive. If you're single and you want to find a relationship with Tianxiang in your snake palace this year, you just need to take the time to build up the trust. Yeah, build up trust, even though it may take a little bit longer than you were hoping for, but you will eventually get there. Um, Now, from a wealth perspective, it's best to collaborate with other people and form partnerships. Especially if you need funding and resources, then it's even more important to collaborate with others who can bring those resources or the money to the table, so that you can access maybe markets that you haven't been able to access before. Now, next up, we have those who have both Wuqu and Pojun in the snake palace. So they usually appear together. So if you have Wuqu and Pojun in the same palace, in the snake palace, then career is actually good. Health is pretty good in 2025. Relationships are also above average. Everything seems to be working quite okay in 2025, except maybe for the financial outlook. So you tend to make bold moves financially in 2025, but they may not pay off the way you hoped. So it looks like you're throwing a lot of money around to solve problems, or you are entering into investments that are not the most profitable. So be careful with that. And rather than just throwing money at the problem, maybe look at other ways to solve the problems. Otherwise, this year can be quite a drain financially. Now, from a career perspective, as I mentioned, it's a good year, but you tend to overwork. So, focus on working smart rather than working hard, because you tend to get quite exhausted just from too much work, and you need to focus on quality rather than quantity. Yeah, be more focused, be more professional. Let people know what you're truly good at, and then career will be doing really, really well. Now, next up, we have those who have the Tianliang star, Tianliang in the Snake Palace. This is also quite good, I would say. Career and relationships are going well. The only aspect that may not be great is health. Now, there's nothing serious, yeah, so you don't have to worry. There's no major health issue, but the health issues that you are experiencing this year are mostly coming from stress. Maybe you are stressed about something that happened in the past, or you're stressed about past bad experiences. And so what's important for you is to learn to let go. If you learn to let go, and calm down and maybe find some mindfulness practices or whatever it is to calm your mind, then the health issues will also subside. So all the health issues, or the majority of health issues that you are experiencing in 2025, are related to stress. Like you're stressing yourself out over things that have already happened or have not yet happened, and you can't even control them. So just chill, right? So learn to live in the here and now. Now, if you're single and you have Tianyang in the Snake Palace, then this year also you have the opportunity to maybe meet someone. And it's almost like you are attracted to someone who has a creative streak. The only downside is that you may have to spend some money on them, yeah? Take them out for lunch or for coffee or whatever. Buy them gifts to win them over. That's why your wealth outlook may not be so great, because you spend a lot of money on just, trying to ensnare someone. But yeah, other than that, relationships look quite okay. And from a career perspective, you do have the opportunity to advance in career. If you are if you have the chance to get involved in a big project that could really elevate your name, then do get involved. It can upgrade your portfolio, it can upgrade your skill set as well, and you can learn something new. And just generally, make sure that you invest in stronger networks. Yeah, so that you're actually making use of all the people in your life. Yeah, really maintain a strong network. And then we have Ziwei and Tisha. So like in this case here, you see both are in the same palace at the same time. So if you have Ziwei and Tisha in your snake palace, this is also very good. Career is quite good because you have a lot of nobleman help. So there's a lot of people who are out there trying to help you, able to help you, but you need to learn to ask for help. Now, the thing is, these noble people, so if you ask them for help, they do have a lot of high expectations. They really want you to go beyond, above and beyond. So if they do help you, they want to make sure that you really, really maximize their help, and they want to see results. Yeah, if you're self-employed and you have your own company, again, you need to go beyond your current market and clients and expand into other industries, into other countries, go above and beyond and ask other people for help. So don't be too proud to ask for help. From a health perspective, you need to be a little bit careful with your diet. Don't drink or eat too much. Don't overindulge because this will cause you health issues. Now, next up, we have Leenen and Tanlang in the Snake Palace. So if you do have both of them in the Snake Palace, this looks really, really good for 2025, so congratulations. This is especially good for career and health. But you do tend to put on a little bit of weight in 2025. Even if you exercise a lot, it's like, okay, I exercise, therefore I can eat a lot. So at the end, you will still gain weight. So be careful, especially if you are already overweight, you've got to take care of your diet. Now, wealth prospects look pretty good because you have good problem-solving abilities this year. Now, on the downside, that means that there will be problems to solve. So go and learn from people, go and learn from experts and ask for advice if there's any problem, either in your career or in your finances. They will be able to help you. They will be able to give you good advice, and they will be able to help you overcome challenges. Yeah. It's mostly the first 6 months of the year where you will be, where you will have to solve problems, but ultimately wealth prospects are quite good. If you're a business owner, look at your expenses. Yeah, make sure that you minimize expenses, that you cut unnecessary expenses, and that you use your financial resources a little bit more effectively and efficiently. Now, the one aspect that's really not that great is relationships. It's not that they're bad, but it just from a relationship perspective, if you have Leenen and Tanlang in the Snake Palace this year, it just tends to be a little bit boring. Yeah, there are no surprises, but there's also no drama. So it's just sort of like it remains the same, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So if you have a great relationship, it's just going to be the same. So it's not going to deteriorate, but you also don't make big strides. Yeah, so it's strides, sorry. So it's just, it is what it is, essentially. Now, Tien Fu. So if you have Tien Fu in the Snake Palace, this is overall very good for 2025. But again, it depends on what you do. So you can't just say, okay, well, I've got the Tien Fu in my Snake Palace, so everything is going to be great. The opportunities are there, but you need to take the right action, essentially. Yeah. So if you're involved in any activity or work or career that's related to international trade or serving online clients or overseas clients, then you will have much, much better wealth luck in 2025. So the wealth is very closely tied to the global economy, and you need to actually go beyond just your local market and serve clients internationally. Now, the only thing that may throw you off a little bit in 2025 is your health. So you got to be careful with injuries, especially if you're a very active person, especially if you're doing a lot of sports. Just avoid high risk activities. Um, that may cause you injuries this year. Now, next up, we've got Dumen. So if you have the Dumen star in the Snake Palace, this again is very good for 2025. I would say wealth looks quite good. Health is also very good. The wealth aspect is better for you than the career aspect, because it's likely for you to get sort of like unexpected windfall gains. Maybe it's an unexpected bonus, or maybe it's an unexpected, maybe a debt is finally being repaid, or maybe it's an inheritance or some sort of big surprise gift, or maybe a side gig. You may win something. Yeah, so sort of these kind of things will come into your life if you have Tumen in your snake palace. And it's sort of like you're making money quietly in 2025. So it's not like it's very public. That's why it's career may not be the catalyst for this wealth gain. Yeah, because if you're getting a promotion that's very public, but if you are, if you, for example, if you get an inheritance, not so much. So in 2025, focus more on long-term gains rather than short-term gains, and then you will actually get lucky. And if you are single and looking, then if you have Dumen in the Snake Palace, you will also likely do quite well. You have the possibility of finding a potential partner. The only downside is that it may be more of a sort of like a love-hate relationship. Yeah. So they may not meet all your expectations, and then suddenly it's just going to be like up and down, back and forth, black and white. So it's going to be more of sort of that kind of relationship, but you have the possibility to find a partner. And then lastly, Taiyang. So that is probably one of the best stars to have in the Snake Palace in 2025. It's especially good for career and wealth. Relationships, not so much, because if you have Taiyang in the Snake Palace, you're just naturally probably focusing way too much of your energy on relationships. Sorry, on making money. And so that doesn't leave a lot of time for relationships. Now, if you are already in a relationship, then your partner may feel quite neglected because you're just focusing on work and making money. So make sure that you listen to your partner, that you don't get into unnecessary arguments. And if you're single, then maybe this year may not be the best year to find a relationship. But on the other hand, making money and advancing in your career will be very, very good for you. Especially make sure that you seize opportunities. You have to be proactive with the opportunities that are coming your way. If it's an interesting opportunity, don't think too long, just jump on it. Yeah. Also, if an investment opportunity comes your way, and maybe you are not an investment expert, talk it through with someone who is, and then grab the opportunity. All right. Now, there are instances where your snake palace is completely empty. There's absolutely no star in it. That happens. Or where the only stars that you have in there are Zuofu, Yobi, Wenchang, and Wenqu. These are what we call the supplementary stars. So either the palace is completely empty, no star at all, or you only have these supplementary stars. So Zuofu, Yobi, Wenchang, and Wenqu. In these kind of cases, the outlook is average to below average. It's not the worst, yeah, so don't worry. It's not the worst, but you tend to lose focus in 2025. And you're just you're very much influenced by whatever people say around you. And so if you see people who are doing better than you in 2025, you tend to get very depressed because you always compare yourself to others. So rather than trying harder, you're just like you're giving up. So this is obviously not great, and you need to overcome this. You need to improve yourself, improve your chances in your career. So go out and get a certificate in something. Make sure that you gain more credibility, more recognition by upskilling and learning a skill that nobody else has. Yeah, it's almost like you need a paper to prove your skills. Yeah, update your portfolio or get a diploma or get some sort of certification this year. That way you can still make this a good year. Relationships are so-so. If this palace is empty or only with supplementary stars. And if you are in a relationship, you tend to argue about financial issues. Yeah. So try to temper down a little bit and manage your emotions a little bit better. So that you don't fly off the handle whenever there's a financial issue. Now, if you're single, it could be that your financial status is a bit of a barrier to finding a partner. Yeah, maybe you have someone in mind or you fancy someone, but they want someone who has much more money, for example, right? So don't get discouraged. It's not the year really to focus on relationships. Instead, focus on self-improvement. All right. Now, there are instances where you have one of the main stars that I discussed earlier, and then also one or two of the supplementary stars. Then again, both of these outlooks apply. All right. So take both of this on board. So hopefully this helped a bit to make sure that you know what to expect in 2025. Make the most of it. And of course, if you have comments, questions, please put them in the comment section below, or you can contact me directly. My email address is in the description to the video. And please give the video a thumbs up, share it with anybody who may be interested, and please subscribe to my channel. I post 3 times a week, and I always try my best to give you some valuable information. All right. Thank you guys so much. See you soon.